Welcome everyone, this is Sean Howell and this is going to be a tutorial on how to use the position screen on Power eTrade. To get started, I've already logged in at etrade.com. I'm at the complete view, and from this screen, I am looking to open the Launchpad. I drop down the Launchpad menu and then I select Power eTrade. This is going to launch Power eTrade, and across the top, you'll see that I have three main menus: Trading, Markets, and Account. From the Account menu, I'm dropping down to the Position screen. On the Position screen here, I have 4 different goals I'm going to cover in this tutorial. I want to walk you through customizing it and getting familiar. My second goal is going to be how to close out one of these positions quickly and efficiently. My third goal is to show you how to roll a short option leg forward. And my fourth goal is how to take a look at one of these positions and adjust that position for a credit or a protection or a little bit of both. Let's get started. One of my favorite features about Power eTrade is the ability to customize the entire platform and the individual screens themselves. As you can see, I'm in the position screen and I want to customize the columns that I'm looking at. Here's how I'm going to do that. In the upper right-hand corner, I'm going to select these 3 dots. I click on that. It's going to give me a submenu. One of the items is Select Columns. When I choose Select Columns, it's going to give me all of the different columns that I can select from. You can see those on the left. If I simply click on the plus, it will bring them over to the current columns. You can see the columns that I've selected for my own platform here. From within this, I can also move them around if I want a little bit. Be sure to save. Once I've saved my columns, now they're all being displayed. As I mentioned, there's 2 ways that I can move them around. Let's say I wanted to swap out today's net gain with open net gain. I simply drag and drop, and there is no save button in this case. It will remember that. Not only will it remember on this computer, it will also remember how I've set up my columns if I were to log into another computer as well. So that's a great feature as far as customizing it. Now on the left-hand side, you can see I've got my individual positions. Because the majority of my positions are going to be option trades, let me show you a number of ways that you can look at your positions, diving a little bit deeper or just getting sort of a surface level view. And that's going to be the views up here. I can look at them from a top level, spread level, or leg only. Another way that I can do it, my preference is to leave it at spread level. But if I want to dive deeper, I can click on spread level and it will take me down to the leg level. If I click it again, it will show me all the individual legs of all the individual strategies that I have. And if I click it again, it will take me back to the top level. I can also come down and select one of the drop-down menus. For example, this Home Depot Iron Condor, which has 4 legs. Now I'm down to the Iron Condor position. If I select that again, it will give me each of the 4 legs. And then, of course, you can see all the different columns that I have associated with that. That's a way that you can customize it and get a little bit more familiar. Let's move into goal number 2, which is how we can close out any one of these individual positions or individual legs quickly and efficiently from the position screen. For my next objective, I want to show you how we can close out an entire position from the position screen or even just an individual leg. And for this demonstration, I'm going to take a look at the Ford covered call position. Now, with a covered call position, you'll see that I own 100 shares of Ford. And against that position, I have sold 1 contract of the July 23rd $14 call option. You'll also see that over here on the underlying change, you can see that Ford is up quite a bit today. It's up 51 cents. That's about a 3.88% move. And because I've got the covered call, I'm thinking that maybe I want to close out the individual leg here and let those 100 shares of Ford possibly, hopefully, run higher. And the way that I'm going to do that is drop down to the individual position and hover. There's 2 ways that you can do it. One is you can hover, and then as I zoom in, you'll see something here. I've got a wrench, and I have a circle with an X, which allows me to close. I've also got the ability to roll the trade forward, analyze it, or I could even chart the individual option itself. In this case, if I select close, then it will bring up an opening ticket here. And that ticket is to buy 1 contract of the July 23rd 14 strike. It self-populates for me. Very quick and very efficient. From here, I can select if I want to do a limit or if I want to do a market. In fact, I'm just going to go in and select that I want to close this out. I'm willing to pay the current market price, which is 13 cents. It's going to cost me 13 bucks to buy this back. I'm going to preview that. You can see in this case, I'm going to spend $13 and a penny and 50 cents in commission. Now, I want to point out an interesting policy here that we have here at E-Trade. It's called the Dime Buyback. If this position was trading at 10 cents or less, it's currently trading at 13 cents. But if it were trading at 10 cents or less, then I could buy it back commission free. In fact, let me show you what that would look like. If I go back and I say edit, maybe throughout the day, I'm going to see a little bit of a fade in the underlying stock price, which would of course bring down the option a little. So I'm setting my limit for 10 cents in this case. And if I go to preview, you'll see now there is no commission charge. I put the order in with a limit of 10 cents, and you can see that I've got $10 and 1 penny. That 1 penny is going to be the exchange fee, but there is no commission in this case. So from this point, maybe I'm going to get lucky. I'm going to try to save myself a couple of pennies on commission, and I'm going to submit that order. Now, that order is open. It's unlikely that that's going to trigger why I'm doing this demo. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to modify this order, and I'm just going to execute it so you can see how quickly I can do that. Let's see if I can get it done at the bid. I've clicked the bid. My limit is 13. If I go to preview, in this case, now you're going to see the 50 cents have popped up again. Total transaction would be $13.51. Let me submit it and see if we could possibly get this executed. Again, because I went in at the bid, probably not going to see that executed unless I happen to get lucky. Go back again, and I'm going to modify it. And in this case, I'll just go in and close it out for the extra dollar, $14.51. Let's submit it. There you go. That order is filled. So very quickly, I can get in and set up a trade, and I can also modify it. Now let's go one level deeper here. That was just a single leg that I closed out. This iron condor, as I showed you earlier, has 4 different positions, 4 different option positions associated with it. If I click on that, it's going to pull up another menu, and one of the items is adjust. The one I'm looking for here to show you is going to be close. This is a 4-legged option spread. It would take me a while if I wanted to create an individual ticket, but if I just hit close, the entire order that I set up is reversed. So it saves me a lot of time, and then I can come in and I can decide at what level I want to set the trade up to potentially close it out. In this case, I don't want to close it out, so I'm just going to minimize the ticket, exit out, and move on to our next goal. But again, wanted you to see how quickly and efficiently I can close out an individual leg or an entire position. For our next goal, I want to show you how we can roll a short position forward from the position screen. To kind of illustrate the example, let's take a look at what position I have on. I've got the Starbucks diagonal. You'll see that I have bought one contract of the January 22-105 call option, and that's got 185 days to go. That's great. That's working out for me. Today, Starbucks is having a good up day. But against that position, I have a short leg. I've got the July 30th 118 call that has just 10 days to go. You'll also see what we call chips. This little E right here is a chip, and that chip is the earnings chip. It's indicating to me that earnings are coming out July 27th, so they're happening very soon. Let me go over to the chart and show you what I'm seeing in Starbucks today. Starbucks is at 117.81. It's up 2.17%. Now, you've got to remember that's working out very well for my long leg, my 105 call, but it's starting to get pretty close up to that short leg, that 118 on this diagonal spread. So what I want to think about doing is maybe rolling that short leg forward out in a little bit of time and possibly up a little bit higher. Now, I could build a ticket and do that, but again, I want to show you how we can do that from the position screen, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Going down to the Starbucks short leg, if I hover over that, and I'll zoom in so you can get a better idea, as I hover over that, again, we've got the wrench to adjust the position. I've got the close button, but I also have the one to me that looks like a wishbone, and that's going to be the roll. I'm going to click on the roll, and that's going to pull up the order mask. And the order mask as you can see, is going to buy back my short leg, and at the same time, it is going to sell another position against that, and that position goes out in time, but currently has the same strike price. That's fine. Let's go ahead and see if I can maybe pull that off. But I want to also see if I can raise the ceiling a little bit. Even though I'm going to be buying this guy back, I'd like to see if I can raise it from maybe the 118 to the 119 and see what that's going to do as far as the overall cost of the trade. Now, interestingly enough, I'm going out in time, but I'm raising it up a little bit, and it is going to cost me a little bit of money to raise that ceiling from 118 to 119 and push the time out. I'm okay with that. Let's see if we can get it done possibly here at 21 cents. So it's going to cost me $21 plus commission to get this rolled out. Let me hit the preview, and you can see that I'll be buying back and selling an option, buying the 118 and selling the 119. The amount I'm about to spend is $21.03. With the commission, in this case, I've got active trader commission pricing of 50 cents per contract. You may be at 65 cents per contract unless you're currently an active trader, where it would come down a little bit. But let me see if I can get this trade submitted and closed out here and roll that trade forward. Okay, I was going to say, it looks like we're not going to get a fill, but we did get a fill very quickly there. So I've successfully rolled that forward, which again, what I've really done is I've pushed it out in time, but I've raised the ceiling of profitability all the way up, or I should say from 118 to 119. So again, another way that I can efficiently manage my positions from the position screen. For goal number 4, we're going to talk about that adjust button and some of the things that we can do from the position screen as far as adjusting. So stay tuned. And for the final goal, I want to talk a little bit about how we can use what we call the adjust function on here. In this account, in this demo account, I have 100 shares of AT&T, and as you can see from the mark change percentage here, you can see that AT&T is only up about 0.36% today. That's pretty disappointing considering the market is up just about 1.5 to 2% today. Kind of a big upside to the market. Maybe my reasoning for holding AT&T is that I like the fact that it's got a relatively healthy dividend associated with it, even though it's been coming down a decent amount. I'm thinking about how I can extract a little more money out of that. And that's where the adjust button comes in. So I'm going to click on the screen, and let me dive into this menu a little bit further here. We've got a little notepad right here. So if I wanted to take some notes on what I'm thinking as I'm thinking out loud for you all, but I'm trying to think about how I could generate a little bit more money from a position that is really not moving in the upside with the market right now. And that's going to be this adjust button right here. When I click that, you'll see that on the left, I've got a number of different buttons that I can select, and I'll walk through those. One is simply to close the position. So I've already shown you 2 ways that we can close it, but this is really a third way. The other one is going to be income. And what it will do is it will pretty much set up a covered call against that position. Power E-Trade knows that I have 100 shares. If I had less than 100 shares, that income button would not be lit up because I couldn't create a covered call. But I can in this case. And it just sort of sets up a template where it's going to sell about a 1 month out the money call against that. And even though this is not a recommendation, it's just sort of setting up the concept. Now, if I go to create order, from this point, I can say, yeah, I don't want to sell all the way out to the August 2021. Maybe I just want to sell out to the July 30. And the stock at 27.88, maybe I don't want to sell to 27.88. Maybe I want to sell, what are my choices here? Maybe I want to sell the 31, and I can see what sort of premium I would get by doing that. So it really just helps to generate some ideas and gives you a visual representation of what's going on. Let me close that out, and let's go into some of the other features of what that adjust button can do. So you can see when I clicked income, it set it up as a covered call. When I click protection, it's going to set it up as what we call a married put. You'd be buying a put for protection against the stock potentially moving down. And then the third one is protection and income, where I would be selling a covered call. And with that covered call, I would be buying some form of protection as well. And we call that a collar. And if you want to see what that looks like, if you go again to create order, you'll see that I would be selling. In this case, it's going to default to about 1 month, and it's going to default to the out the money. It's going to give me the bid and the ask. And then also it will show you what it would look like for the protection side, which would be to buy one contract of the same expiration, the 27.5, stocks at 27.87 right now, and it would show me the bid ask, and then I could set the transaction up. Again, I think that's interesting, but really I want to set this up to do a quick covered call. So let me go back to the AT&T shares. Let me click on it. Let me hit adjust. I'm going with income. I'm going to say create order. And again, maybe I'm okay with the August 2021 29 strike. Again, that's going to be just sort of the default that's set up. I'm going to see if I can get it done at the bid, which is 24. Let me hit the preview on that. 23.98, 50 cents, 23.48 would be the credit I would get. Sure, if I'm fine with that, I'll go ahead and send it in. See if we can get it ordered. Yep, we got the order already executed. That one is done and set up. So what I encourage you to do is get on to Power E-Trade and become familiar with all of the different menu items. And again, going back to what I was saying before, there's several ways that you can do things. Remember, you can always hover, or you can click, or you can come in and hit things like the adjust button and go through the different functionality of it. With that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this tutorial up. Hopefully this has been useful. And another quick tip, remember you've got Power E-Trade, but going back to eTrade.com, you also have the paper trading application, which is going to be the Power E-Trade simulator using real-time data, and also $100,000 of basically fake money in there. So if you want to get a little bit more familiar with how to set up and execute orders but not use your real money, then I would encourage you to go back and take a look at that simulator. Again, that's called Paper Trading, found at eTrade.com, complete view, and right below where you saw me log into Power E-Trade. Thanks for joining. Best of luck in the markets. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.